Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to dive right into the ultimate thought experiment and see what actually happens to reality when we unravel the shape of our planet. You know, the shape of our world isn't just some random cosmetic detail. It's the natural outcome of physical forces acting over immense stretches of time. But just for a minute, we're going to put that reality on hold. We're going to examine a scenario that fundamentally challenges the deepest structures of physics, astronomy, geology, and honestly, just our everyday experience. Let's get into it.
You know, the idea of a flat Earth actually has this strange emotional pull to it. It feels cozy, right? Simple, human-scaled. Especially when you compare it to a spinning sphere racing through a dark, vast cosmos. Why does the idea persist for some? Well, because it feels personal. It places humanity directly at the center of the stage. It makes things feel manageable, knowable, and intimate, almost as if the universe were designed entirely for our convenience. A spherical Earth adrift in an unimaginably vast universe can frankly feel a little unsettling.
But hey, science isn't really built on what makes us comfortable. So what if we actually took a flat Earth seriously? Let's just run with it and see how taking this shape seriously would literally unravel the entire fabric of physics. And to be clear, this isn't about mocking beliefs, it's about exploring the radical mind-bending consequences of altering a core scientific truth. If we ask this question seriously, we walk into a world where almost everything we observe becomes, well, literally impossible.
Section 1. A gravity nightmare. A broken foundation.
Okay, so gravity is pretty much destiny. In our real universe, spherical gravity pulls matter evenly toward a stable center. When enough mass gathers, that inward pull smooths out all the bumps and creates a sphere. It's not a design choice, it's just the raw physics of mass. But on a flat Earth, that natural pull goes completely haywire. Because a flat disk doesn't have a single center in 3 dimensions, gravity couldn't pull equally downward everywhere. Instead, down would start to tilt outward the closer you get to the edge. People near the perimeter would literally feel gravity pulling them sideways.
So what does this all mean for us? Well, this uneven gravity would absolutely dominate your daily life. It would create a world where dropping a stone in Bangladesh feels completely different than dropping one in Canada. On our spherical Earth, you drop a stone anywhere, and it falls straight toward the ground. Boom. Simple. On a flat Earth, rivers wouldn't flow predictably. Mountains would literally collapse asymmetrically under these skewed forces. Buildings would require bizarre, unprecedented engineering just to stop them from sliding sideways. Imagine your morning commute requiring you to lean at a 45-degree angle just to stand up straight. It'd be a constant physical struggle depending entirely on your zip code.
Section 2. The sky breaks. Time zones collapse.
Let's look up. If the sun just hovered over us like a giant spotlight, which is kind of the only way day and night could even sort of work on a flat plane, its size would have to visibly change as it moved away into the distance. It would shrink until it vanished. But look at the reality we experience every day. The sun sinks cleanly. Its lower edge disappears first, exactly as you'd expect on a curved surface. No amount of optical illusion or perspective tricks can replicate this perfectly consistent behavior across the globe.
And then we have time zones. Honestly, time zones are a quiet but absolutely devastating argument against flatness. A spinning sphere naturally creates time zones as different regions turn to face the sun. Hour 0, dawn breaks in Dhaka. Hour 6, it reaches London. Hour 11, New York. If a hovering spotlight sun lit up a flat plane, this natural, beautiful progression of time would collapse into impossible twilights. Sharp boundaries between night and day would be impossible to maintain, and things like the midnight sun near the poles, they would have absolutely zero scientific explanation. Our clocks are synchronized by astronomy, not just by convention.
Section 3. Oceans and Weather. Tech Failure.
Now let's bring it back down to the surface. Water and gas, they don't lie. They reveal the shape of the world without any ideology. Without spherical gravity, the oceans would completely lose their tides. They'd either pool weirdly at the center or just spill infinitely outward, assuming there weren't giant magical ice walls holding them in. The atmosphere is just as bad. On a sphere, gravity pulls gas molecules inward to create a nice, stable envelope. On a flat disk, the atmosphere literally spills into space or thins out dangerously at the edges. Plus, without the spin and curvature of the Earth, the delicate climate patterns we literally need to survive, like the precise mechanics that form hurricanes and distribute energy, would be completely erased.
And the disaster definitely doesn't stop with nature. It destroys modern technology. Think about launching an object upward into space. Satellites only stay up because they are in a continuous, endless freefall around a sphere. They're constantly moving forward fast enough that they miss the ground as the Earth curves away beneath them.
Without that curvature, an object launched upward would either fall straight back down like a rock or drift completely unpredictably. Stable orbital mechanics simply do not and cannot exist on a flat Earth.
To put that in perspective, this means the GPS on your phone? Useless. Precise global timekeeping? Ruined. Disaster response networks and global communications? Totally impossible in a flat Earth universe. Modern civilization rests entirely on satellites behaving exactly as predicted by spherical Earth physics. If the Earth were flat, this entire technological framework we rely on every single day would instantly crash.
Section 4. The ultimate flaw. A broken universe. We've reached the climax of our little thought experiment here, and to be honest, the conclusion is absolutely staggering. When you start pulling on the thread of a flat Earth, the entire sweater of the universe just unravels. To actually maintain this illusion in real life, you'd have to orchestrate a flawless, universe-wide conspiracy of matter. Think about it. You'd need light to bend in strange, unmeasured ways, just to fake the visual of ships dropping hull first over the horizon. You'd have to completely reimagine how earthquakes send seismic waves through the planet, discarding literally thousands of worldwide instruments that prove Earth has a molten, spherical interior. You'd have to invent entirely new, mysterious forces just to replace gravity.
The sheer absurdity of trying to force these physical laws onto a flat plane really just shows us how elegantly interconnected our real reality truly is. You see, you can't just change the shape of the Earth in a vacuum. Every sunset, every satellite pass, every predictable river, and every single functioning cell in our bodies relies on the uniform physical forces of a spherical world. To make Earth flat is to literally destroy the universe as we understand it.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. Earth's shape isn't dictated by authority, but by the physical harmony of the cosmos itself. The impossibility of a flat Earth isn't a failure of imagination. It's a massive triumph of human understanding. It invites us to keep asking questions, to embrace curiosity, and to just marvel at the beautiful complexity of a universe that is far stranger and far more astonishing than a simple, flat disk. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and as always, keep looking up.